Everyone who tried to understand what I was had a different answer. To some, historian. To others, my name is Mirkas Pendolier. To a few, just a nameless witness. But more often than not, they called me the Herald. They said I was recording history, not for those who live now, but for those who would come after. I don't know if there was any truth to that. But if everything that happened is not captured in the information flow, it will disappear, as millions of lives have disappeared. Like the very foundation of the universe disappeared that very day. When it all began, no one knew how it would turn out. The operation invented by Shisa could have ended quickly and without a trace, leaving nothing but another successful or failed plan for the formidable nomadic warriors. But it was more complicated than that. Then Shisa had created a legend. The war was not yet going in his favor, but he could not afford a direct confrontation with the Empire on their territory. The only chance to change the course of events was to move the battlefield to the rear of the enemy to intimidate them and motivate the guerrillas fighting in their home system. Thus came a squad that didn't officially exist. Now they weren't heroes, they weren't warriors, and they weren't even Mandalorians. Each of them was now considered Mando, no longer a Mandalorian. Their names were tainted by false stories carefully spread among their own people. Some had supposedly fled the battlefield. Some had defected to the enemy. Someone was affiliated with the Death Watch or other groups whose views made them traitors among the Mandalorians. The lies had to look convincing. The Imperials had to believe it, but the Mandalorians themselves had to believe along with them. In order for the operation to be unmasked, the legend had to be believed by everyone except its creator and its participants. Mandalore would reveal the truth, but not until the mission was completed. Until then, they would remain renegades, outcasts, traitors. Each had a role to play. Legend has it that they left their people behind and sold out for credits, losing everything but the will to survive. To anyone who heard their names, they were just scattered mercenaries looking for work. In the eyes of the Empire, potential agents to be used against their former associates. In the eyes of the rest of the Mandalorians, those who should have been forgotten or beaten to death. They had to gain the trust of one of the Imperial Viceroys in a key system. He had to believe that those before him were not the disciplined soldiers of Mandalore, but those who no longer had anything to lose. Once he opened the doors before them, there would be an opportunity to strike. But until then, they did not know each other. Each had come to Nar Shaddaa on their own, following orders to meet with the coordinator, Shisa's trusted man. Mercenaries, criminals, soldiers without a flag. That's how they looked from the outside. But the lie was only a mask, and beneath it were warriors who had a role to play.